Hello and welcome to the Fairy Little Podcast. I'm Marsha, also known as Fairy Little, and this is my podcast all about knitting. Today I'm going to speak with you about a couple finished objects, works in progress, and knit along that I've been working on as well, and then some jibber jabber at the end. So if you're not interested in the jibber jabber, then don't worry about hanging around. So let's get into it, shall we? First off, I'm going to show you a finished object, and then a work in progress, and then a finished object, and then a work in progress. I think that's how I'm going to do it today. It's a little bit different from my regular format, which is kind of not a format, but... So my first finished object is this beautiful shrug. It is, I haven't named it yet, but it is going to be going out to test knitters fairly soon. I have one size knit. It's going to be 3 different sizes because it is an open front. It just, the length of your back measurement is really the only thing that really matters, but it is so loose and cozy that each size will cover a myriad of sizes. So this size is the medium, and it is done. I finally finished it. I wove in all the ends and finished the little sleeves. I'm going to throw it on and then I'll put it back on Henrietta after, but I'll show you what it looks like on. It's a little bit squishy in here. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like on, and then since it is still in the testing, needs to be test knit stage, I will be sending that out, and hopefully it will be test knit and ready in the next probably month or so. So I'm also re-knitting it, which is my next work in progress that I'm going to show you. So I'll just throw this on. So this is just a nice cozy shrug that you can just throw on. It does have sleeves, so you can still do things and it will stay on. You can put in a shawl pin, or if you like, if you want, or just leave it open. It is fairly long. And there's ways to wear it too, so it won't be as long as this, but it is very long and cozy. It's perfect for snuggling up on the couch while you're reading a book, or your favorite chair, or even lounging around, going out, whatever. It's such a cozy, easy to wear top. It is knit in the round, so you are really doing a lot of stockinette stitch. And what else can I say about it? It's got some short row shaping in the collar to give it that nice band there. And in the pattern, it tells you how to increase like sizes, and if you want more coverage on the front, it shows you how to do that as well. So if you wanted it to come in even farther, you could definitely do that. Because of how it fits, your arms go in the sleeves, and it does have a lot of, it's like, there, it's more centered now. It does have a lot of space, so you're not really limited, and the sleeve can also be made longer if you want. If you want to wear it up here, you can. There we go. If you want to wear it up higher, you can. You can definitely even go even higher if that's what you want to do, and then it will just drape down a little bit more. And you can definitely add length to the sleeve. So if you wanted to start it up here and then knit all the way down, you could definitely do that too. It takes about 5 skeins of a fingering weight yarn. This one is knit in sweet fiber, and it is 434 meters, 475 yards in 115 gram skein. And it's 100% superwash merino, and this is a single ply, and it's the smoke colorway. So that's it right there. There was quite a bit of yarn left over from the medium size because I wanted to make sure that if you chose to increase your sleeve length, that you would have enough yarn. So you'll definitely have enough there to increase the sleeve size. Is very, very cozy and comfortable. I need to take some photos of it before I actually get into wearing it consistently, but this is something that I'm going to definitely be wearing to work. I work night shifts, so this is just something that I could throw on that's nice and warm for when my circadian rhythm drops and my temperature goes whew. So yeah, I'm very happy about this, and that leads me into my work in progress. Some of you have been with me for a few years, and you know that I definitely have a love of color. So I have this beautiful gray version of my shrug. I just adore color, and I'm really happy with this in gray because that's a very nice, just neutral color, and it's very calming. It feels very calming to me. But having said that, I cast another one of my shrugs on in bright red. So I cast this on 2 days ago, and I have worked out the pattern, so I'm just re-knitting it just to make sure that all of the details are as they should be before I send it out for test knitting. Because when I was taking notes while I was writing this, I did some shorthand, and I just want to make sure that I'm interpreting my own writing properly so that it's actually displayed properly in the pattern, which is my process. Everybody has a different process, and that's mine. So I end up knitting 2 of everything that I design, because the first one is me playing, and then the second one is for real. So I cast this on 2 days ago. I've gotten fairly far already. I'm still in my first skein of yarn. And this is the shrug. I have it written out. There's some details in there that I would like to make shorter because it's kind of written in the long form, and I would really like it shorter. The yarn I'm using, because you're probably interested in that, is actually not a base that's available anymore, but I do believe the color is available on a different base through West Coast Color. And this yarn I picked up last year when I went to the Sorrento knitting retreat. And this is Thockies, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 400 meters in 113 grams skein, and it is called Random Red. So she'll probably have something similar to this color. Her colors are so vibrant. They are some of my favorite colors I've gotten from her. And this was just in her yarn that's not her base, that's not available anymore, but it's this beautiful red. It's showing up more orange red on the screen, and I hope that it translates properly, that it's more of a, in person it's kind of more of a blue red, if that makes sense to you. But it's coming along really well. It's a really good knit for when I'm just need something simple that isn't a lot of thinking. It's a really good, just meditative knit. I've been doing a lot of meditating lately, so this is kind of perfect for that. I've been just doing a lot of deep thoughting. Got a lot of deep thinking done. So this is coming along. I'm very excited about this. It is going to be very comfortable. It's just super easy knit. It would be really nice in multiple colors. You could do it in 5 different colors. You could do it in 6 different colors. You could do it variegated from one color out. It would look really nice in like a rainbow coming out. It would look really nice in some like pastel colors. It just, yeah, there's so many options for this. It's just beautiful, and it's very, very comfortable. There's definitely some different ways to wear it. You can fold it in half and put your arms through the sleeves and wear it folded as well. That's also an option. You can wear it folded with the flat side up, or you can wear it folded with the flat side down. And yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways you can wear it. You can even fold it in half and like use the sleeves to like tie it if you wanted. So it's coming along. I'm really excited about this design, and I cannot wait for this one to be completed. Speaking of designs, I'm going to show you a picture. This is my Pasqua shawl that I began designing last year. And this finished picture that you're seeing now was knit by Sarah Hepworth, who went over, thank you Sarah so much for knitting this for me. She went through the whole pattern and took a look at my charts and made sure that they were in correct order. And I'm going back through and making some final corrections, and then I have another test knitter who is working on it. Once she's finished with it, after I've made the edits, the Pasqua shawl will be available for Easter this year. That is the release for the Pasqua shawl. I'm so excited for it. I just want to make sure that everything is done for it before I make this one live, because it is charted, it is also written, and it is an intermediate advanced pattern. I would say it more goes along the line of an advanced pattern, just because there's some moving of stitch markers, and that can, for somebody who's new to lace, that can be a little bit intimidating. So you definitely want to have lace knitting experience when you get into this shawl. But it is stunning. Her version is gorgeous, and she used a single skein of yarn, and it was went from one color to the next color to the next color, and her color choices are just beautiful. I will have the information on the yarn that she used. I'll just put that below so that you can see it. And I am currently working on the edits for that one. So that is really exciting. Thank you again, Sarah. That is just, it was so helpful, and her notes were just beautiful. Another finished object I have are my slouch socks. So I have designed a pattern for some slouch socks that are reminiscent of the late 80s, early 90s kind of period, and they are brioche socks for the body. They are super comfy. They are knit with, they have the heel flap and gusset, and they have my favorite kind of toe. But it's written in a way that you can replace the heel if you want to do a different heel, or you could replace the toe if you prefer a different toe. It has the measurements for the toe measurement, so you'll know how far you need to go. It's done in brioche. I showed another pair last week that were pink and green, and these ones are orange and blue. And these are knit out of, now the blue is knit out of, the blue part of the sock is knit out of Drops Fable in color 105. And, oh, I covered the tag. It's been in my purse, so it's a little bit worse for wear because I just threw these in my purse to do. And Knit Pick Stroll Brights in Hot Tamale is the orange. And when I ordered this, I thought it was red, but it's definitely more orange. So, but those colors together look amazing. And when you actually slouch these, that color pops out, which is fantastic. So I'm going to be taking some photos of those. I already have one test knitter for them, and she has the pattern, so she's getting started on them, and I will probably need one or two more test knitters for these. And they're so fun to knit. They're fairly quick, and like I said, it's brioche, so it's just straight brioche. There's no patterning in there, so it's just, if you're new to two-color brioche in the round, this is kind of perfect because it's just the same thing over and over and over, which is a lot of fun. So those are those. My next work in progress that I am doing this for the Cable Cal 2019, or the Cable Mal 2019, that I am co-hosting with Grace of Babbles Traveling Yarn and Akira from the Knitting Annihilator podcast. And we each have information in our groups about how to enter. There's definitely a ton of different ways to enter. You can enter by using the hashtags on Instagram. You can also enter by going into each of our groups and going into the chatter thread or the finished objects thread and adding your finished objects. It is for cables, so if you can cable when you're crocheting, then that will count. Works in progress are definitely, they're okay. And it started on February 1st. So we are, I think we're 13 days in, 14 days in by the time you see this. So it's also Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness. Happy Valentine's Day. I don't really celebrate, so I don't think of it. Okay, so my project that I'm working on for the cable knit along is the Blackberry cardigan, and I will show you a picture here. It's by Alexandra Charlotte Defoe, and it's from 2009. I already had the back complete, so I'm working on the front panel. I think it's the front, yeah, front left is where I'm working. So when you saw it last, I was down here and about there. And so I just worked my way up. I'm not doing the size that is in the picture. I'm doing a size larger, I believe. And this is where going up a size changes the look of the pattern. So this is something that's actually been kind of a discussion on Instagram and certain areas of Instagram that I've been paying attention to, is sizing and being more inclusive in sizing and what that means for designers and what that means for sizes. So this is a kind of a perfect example of going up a size from what is shown is actually changes the outcome of what it actually looks like. So in the pattern that is shown on, that's actually shown, this section does not exist. This is added as an additional section for the size. So this is a little bit more finicky. And in the size that the designer does in the picture, the decreases don't happen. They happen in this section, but how they line up is this, there's still a cable going through here, which doesn't exist in mine. It gets worked out on its way out here. You can see it goes out that way, and then it would be this one. It would be actually, so that one goes in like that. So it's, this one goes out, and then there would be this cable would be the one that would come back in through this section. So there's a cable missing, and so again I put it down because I'm thinking about, do I like that or do I need to go back and change it so that that actually has a cable? I'm thinking I'm just going to finish it off, and I just don't know if that's going to bug me. So it's just kind of a pain in the butt to pull back cables. That's the other thing, is that I just don't, it's a lot of work to go back with how many decreases I've done on each side and keeping it consistent. So this is something that you might find if you're not doing the size that the designer designed the pattern for, is this exact thing here that I'm dealing with, that it doesn't, it decreases in a weird way that it doesn't actually continue to complete the panel. So this section here, I would like to see that right there, because that would just make it look like it didn't just fall off the earth, essentially. So that part's bothering me a little bit. I just need to sit with it a little bit longer. I might cast on the other side and then see how that one works up and see if I can change it, but I want them to look the same. I just have to decide if I'm happy with that or not. I could be making a mountain out of a molehill, but I just feel like, it just feels like it's missing something there for me. So I'm just going to continue working on it, and I'll sit with it for a little while longer. And you can see in the decreases here that the pattern, here I'll show you on this side, that the pattern does, it comes in, but it's still, you can still see the pattern the whole way up. So it doesn't delete the whole pattern, it just deletes a section of it, which is fine because then the color goes in and that looks good. But I don't know how this is going to finish out that section there. So I know I can always take a crochet hook and like drop and bring it back up. Just feels like a lot of heartache for me. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that's how far I got on that. I did get a chunk of that done, so I'm very happy with that. That's really good. Okay, so I also received a giveaway prize for the knit along, and I didn't post this on Instagram because when it arrived, I was in the middle of a migraine craziness, and that's why I didn't post a video last week. So if you were unaware, I tried to post it on Instagram and on YouTube that I wouldn't be putting up a video last week because I just had a really bad migraine and it was 3 days long, and it has like tried to come back a couple times. Last night was like coming back in. So I wasn't sure I would even get to record today because I was really worried that it was going to hit me again, but it didn't. So this prize arrived a few days ago. I want to say probably 5 days ago. So almost a week ago it arrived. It is from Lady Dragonfly Studio, and she wanted to send a prize for the cable cowl. She wanted to send a prize for the cable cowl. So thank you so much, Marlene. She sent two, one for you and one for me. And so this is the one for you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Her colors are so vibrant and so beautiful, and I love color. It even has pockets on the inside, so you can keep your notes and you can keep all of your notions in there and keep them separate. Keep extra needles in the side if you need them. And this is her card, Lady Dragonfly Studio, and I'll have the link below as well. And her website is www.ladydragonflystudio.com, and she does these gorgeous, gorgeous bags. So this is going to be added to the prize package for the cable cowl knit along. Thank you so much, Marlene. It's gorgeous. It is a drawstring bag. I'm not going to draw the strings on it because I want it to still look just like this, and it's got a nice wrist band so that you can put it on your wrist while you're knitting and walking, and it has a nice strong base. The base feels like canvas, and there's something in it that creates a stiffness, so it would be able to sit flat and not fall down. So she did an amazing job on this bag. I want to say thank you again. It is gorgeous, and one of you lucky viewers is going to get to win this. And the one she sent for me is this cute little one. It's smaller. It's still a good size. It's drawstring bag, and it has bees on it, which I love bees. We keep bees, so that's perfect. And it's got the colorful birds on it as well, and then the inside is bees, which I just adore. And then the pockets on the inside are plaid, and I'll show you guys mine, the bottom. So the bottom is nice and stiff, and it will sit nice and nice and stiff. So, and then you can just pull it tight, and it's got the wrist holder. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. And I just love it. So it's Lady Dragonfly Studio. So if you are interested in going and getting one of her bags, I definitely would recommend you go over there and take a look, because they're so well made. I'm super impressed. Super, super impressed. These are gorgeous bags. And the pockets on the inside are just, they're just from another world. I love it. Yeah, I adore this bag. I'm going to put something in it to work on. All right, so that is it for the knitting content. So if you are here for the knitting, thank you so much for joining me. If you are interested in some jibber jabber, then we'll just continue on into that. If not, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. So for jibber jabber, let's start with last week. Last week I had a horrific migraine, and it lasted for a few days. I would say it was probably a stress-related migraine. I've been dealing with a lot of stressful thoughts and things lately. So I've really, I'm not going to get into the detail and the nitty-gritty of it, but I've been doing a lot of introspection into myself and my life and where I'm going and what I'm doing and what I want for my life and what I see the future looking like and those sorts of things. And I like to check in with myself every once in a while just to see if my life is going in the direction that I'd like it to go, what I need to change, what I need to tweak, what personal things I need to work on a little bit more. I had a massive epiphany about a situation in my life that hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm just processing a lot of things, and it's just been like a lot to handle in the last couple weeks. I don't know. I feel like everybody goes through times of change and adjustment, and that is definitely where I am right now, is in change and adjustment. And I have been feeling a lot of feelings about a lot of things. So I'm just processing through all of that, and I just want to make sure that I am making the right decisions for my life, and that it's going to be positive. It's going to be positive. So that is really important to me, that there's positivity surrounding the decisions that I'm making. And in a certain aspect, I don't know if that's possible, but we'll just see how it goes. In other news, the storm that hit everybody that I talked about on the last episode, we are really in it now. We have gotten so much ridiculous amount of snow and cold that is not seasonal for here. I live in a desert region, so we do get cold in the winter. We don't necessarily get as cold as other parts of BC, but we have kind of dropped into a deep freeze. And right now, usually we have like plus 13 Celsius temperatures, and the snow, we're sick of winter, so the snow starts going away. Like, that's one thing about this area, is I always think of it like, when you're sick of winter, winter leaves. But winter has decided to continue on, whether we like it or not. So there's a lot of snow, a lot of people plowing, a lot of shoveling going on, and hopefully that just mellows out soon. Over the last couple weeks, I have not been very present on Instagram, and it is for no other reason than I haven't been feeling well and have had a migraine, so screens just make that worse. So I haven't had a lot of screen time, and so that's why, if you're wondering where I've been on Instagram, I haven't been, because of the headache that I've been toying with. I registered for the Sorrento knitting retreat, so that's all done. I'm very excited about that. It's a weekend in May. It's the weekend after the long weekend. And they're doing things differently this year, so you have to sign up for 3 different classes and the retreat. This year I actually signed up. This year I actually just signed up for 1 class, and it is a yarn dyeing class, and it is with a friend of mine, Susan, who has Riverstone Yarns. And I'm really excited about taking this class with her. She's a lovely, lovely person. Her yarns are gorgeous, and I just really feel for this retreat that I just need to retreat. So I think it's going to be really good to just take that 1 class that is just based in creativity. And then after that, I'm going to just be doing knitting and maybe going for some walks and just doing some healing, I guess. And I'm just really excited for that. Just the peace that I know is going to come with being able to unplug and unwind and be with other makers and creators and be able to just be creative. I'm really excited about that and what that's going to mean. I feel like it's going to refresh my creativity. It tends to. I usually come away from Sorrento with new ideas about designs and ideas about moving forward and things I'd like to change and that sort of thing, and change and grow and develop, and what I'd like to see for my designing. And I just feel like it's just going to be a really gentle time, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited about that. I really just need some of that right now. It's in May, so I'm going to have to wait till May for some of that, but I'm very excited. So if you're participating in the Cable Cal, continue participating and continue using the hashtags. And I'm actually planning on going on a trip in March, taking the kids down to go and visit my sister in Victoria. So that is going to be happening. If you are in the Victoria area, let me know, because we could maybe set up a knit night or something along those lines while I'm there, possibly. So that would be really, really cool. I tend to head down to some of the yarn shops while I'm there and take a peek inside, and I love that. And it'll be great to hang out with my sister again. She's my soulmate, people. That's how it works sometimes. Okay, well, I think that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to all of the new subscribers who have recently subscribed to my podcast. There's quite a few of you. Thank you for that. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing day, amazing weekend, and I will see you soon. Until next time.